it's supposed to be awkward. If you know, you know. That's the reason we for circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Yeah. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's carry number 1 for Kenneth Dixon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he fires one that's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. He was looking for Daniels that time. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And it's complete. Henry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And now it's 2nd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Rodgers now on first down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 6 there on first. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So
now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
The first carry for DeAndre Washington, and he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not beating us running the football. That's who we are. That's what we're about. It's not going to happen. If you're going to beat us, you better pick another way.
On second down, here's Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. A shotgun snap for Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
3/19 and on it.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Rodgers to Cobb. Good for a Green Bay first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And this one is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Rodgers. He's got his target. It's Cobb. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
Jones, and the second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Come back!
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And the ball is knocked out. And this is going to be Packer football. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got it 1st and 10 following the fumble recovery. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. That's complete to Cobb. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And now out comes Houston. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Black, no, feel it. Tiger. Two jet.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Richmond. Two jet.
They go play action here on first down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards on the play. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Daniels. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. 3rd and 2, Watson. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can right foot in there.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Hey, check 26.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Charles Tapper in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Come back.
From the gun, here's Watson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And on 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Faking the give. Now Watson. He can run for it, and he will. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the 1st. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the 2nd half.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On play action, now Rodgers steps away, lets it fly deep for Cobb. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 59 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
We are going. Zoom.
To throw is Rodgers. Going to throw again. And it's caught. Two former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end, Graham. Packer first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now Jones. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal.
Hey, check 26.
Rodgers now to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson drops it underneath to Dixon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Here's Watson, a dump off for Dixon. Room to run inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of it. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. as his guys are in for 6. And the Texans are in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. It's the Wisconsin native and former Badger, J.J. Watt, in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out comes Houston. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On 1st, here's Washington. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Let's go, come on.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, Montgomery, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Hey, check 26. John Wright. 319.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go, come on.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Yeah, Liz.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Jadeveon Clowney in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Rodgers. From the gun, he'll throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Richmond.
They'll start the drive with Washington. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
From the end zone, Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Watson now to throw from his end zone. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
23 yards on the play. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a loss of 14 on the play. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the 50, it's Watson. Escapes the sack. Flushed out right. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Aaron Rodgers so cool in these situations, but he's got to get his guys moving.
Yeah, they have to be able to have that urgency while still keeping their cool.
And an alley to run. He's got a first down and more past the 30 and avoids the contact by sliding. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Now he steps away. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the give, this is Washington. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Black gun it out, feel it. Come back, come back. Tiger.
Throwing now, Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Washington on 3rd and short. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And that's the play, that pick by Mathieu, that will seal this football game.
The Honey Badger does it again, and I think one of the best nicknames that's ever been given. Just so inspired. He may not care, as Honey Badgers don't, but he understands how to get around the ball, and he just sealed another victory.
How do you know about the mental psyche of a Honey Badger?
That's always been the expression. The Honey Badger, he doesn't care.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Texans, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they